welcome to VNN. After a hiatus, we are meeting again, Praveen. We have with us Praveen Verma, Ambassador. And then, of course, we'll resume our discussion series after maybe a gap of 3 months at least.
Yes, thank you, Bala. We are back again. Love to be back on this discussion channel.
I know.
Yeah, we have been off for quite some time. You had to go to India. I had gone to India.
I think you were too engrossed with enjoying the summer.
Yes. Away from the smog at the present.
Yeah, I know. And of course, all this while, there are people being killed in the Middle East.
Oh my God, the
war is raging between Israel and Hamas. I won't call them Palestinians. I mean, they are.
People have forgotten people who are all those who are dying in Ukraine and
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Ukraine has been forgotten. Now that's come to a stalemate. Looks like.
Yeah, and no, nobody's talking about it, and Russians, I'm sure, will be taking an advantage on this.
Yeah, of course, I think they will. Yeah, they will. And they have now said that Ukraine hasn't been able to recapture any territory anyway. Nothing.
I don't know. There's so much of narrative war nowadays going on. They say, I've done this, they say, I've done that. You don't know whom to believe.
Yeah, but apparently there's been a lot of disagreements with the armed forces and and President Zelensky. So we don't know what exactly is happening.
Yeah, the perception is that both are corrupt individually.
That's true. Yes, that's what happened. And where all the money gone? The billions gone, no accounting anyway. So
yeah, all the arms which have come in donation and all that, they have gone to mercenaries or whatever it is.
So what do you think now? What is the end game? Israel-Hamas war. What's going to happen there?
End game, you see, first you have to get into the history, how complicated it has been, right from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Palestinians say it's their land, the Jews say that it's their land. I mean, of course, this piece of area has been common ground for all the three main Abrahamic religions in that area, the Jews and the Christians and the Arabs later on.
But if you go back to history, long time ago, 2,000 years, it was all India and it was all mainly Israel. I mean, so land of the Hebrews. And
but generally for a modern concept, you can start with the Balfour Declaration in 1917, just after the First World War, when the Brits promised 2 states. And like what they did in India, left a half-baked job, they did it over there also. They ran away and nothing was
everywhere.
That is the whole story. And then the British ruled that area as a mandate, and in 1948, they said, okay, now we'll give you the 2 states. Now, what the problem with the Palestinians is that at that time, when the 2 states was offered, Palestinians said no. Had they said yes, maybe history would have been different, and they tried to fight a war in which they lost whatever territory they had. And ultimately, by the end of the 67 war, the 6-day war, these 2 areas, the West Bank and Gaza Strip, remain, and both virtually under occupation of the Israelis. Now, Hamas also has its own history because at that time, Yasser Arafat, leading the PLO, was himself branded as terrorist, and Israelis propped up Hamas. Another Bindrawala story.
Right.
Israelis propped up Hamas to counter the PLO influence. So there the story starts, the PLO, Hamas, and Israel. Well, we have been outsiders from a long time. I was there in Jordan at that time when we didn't recognize even Israel. And Jordan was a place from where you could go to Israel with a new passport and a paper stamp. In 1992, we recognized Israel, and then again, so many wars happened, and Gaza has been under occupation of Israel anyway, with Hamas generally governing the territory inside, and Israel generally controlling all the exit points and essential overall security situation. And this. On the other hand, PLO has been handling the West Bank, where Israelis have been slowly nibbling into those settlements, which one doesn't know how to get through, even if they agree to this, what you call, 2-state theory now. So Hamas has been sort of harboring this contempt for a long, long time. And the recent reasons why they have come into forefront and they just erupted was because, number one, there were so many Arab-Israeli accords taking the Abraham Accords, I2U2, the corridor, and the rapprochement between the Arab states and Israel were coming too much in the forefront.
Feeling left out.
And Hamas felt that their cause is being lost. That's what I feel. And then now we have Netanyahu leading a rightist government. Ultra-right are sort of handling major of the portfolios. And the desecration, what they call, of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which has been troubling the entire Arab world, but they are not directly concerned. But Jordanians, who are the custodians of the mosque, and the Palestinians, who are there physically. So these all have taken up slowly. But I don't know, somehow Hamas has been able to hoodwink the Israeli security apparatus totally.
Totally.
And that is the result. That's the main thing. If they had not been able to get through this thing, nothing would have happened. But when it happened, you and all have seen on the television screens, the massacre would happen, how they broke through the wall, and they took those hostages away. So that was something that immediate international outcry, because it was a form of terrorism which we had not seen on screen at all. So that's where it started, and then slowly Israelis had to react. That was basically Netanyahu's survival also. And then Mossad was also hit. When they had no place to go. All of us thought that Mossad
intelligence gone,
the premier organization, which really is unbeatable. But we saw it beaten, and we saw them totally caught unawares. How Hamas did it, it's still a matter of interpretation. Some people say that they sort of they showed that the chatter was coming from somewhere else, and they were looking more towards West Bank than towards Gaza. So now the situation is that we started with Israeli loss of 900 lives initially. Now it has gone up to 1,400.
Oh, 1,400.
As far as the Gaza bombing is concerned, there the loss is around more than 10,000 at present.
But that's corroborated, of course, because they say they cannot trust what the Hamas says. They say 500 dead, 600 dead every day. There's no corroborated.
There the narrative war is taking its own course. But then the number of people dying in Gaza with the demolition and the bombing, you see, the figures would be more on the higher side than on the lower side.
The problem is, when you see those bombings, there are hardly any people in the cities. I mean, you don't see anybody, except when after the bombing is done, then some people come out. Are they in bunkers or tunnels? And
that's the Israelis, that's what they are saying, that they are using hospitals as shelters, tunnels as shelters. They're all underground, and most of the public institutions are being used as shelters, and people are there. It's a heavily congested township.
Most of the buildings are being demolished, destroyed, finished. The whole city, or the whole Gaza will be flattened, I think, like this.
Yeah. That is, I don't know. The media projects is that even if when we are looking at the Ukrainian war, there was so much of bombing, this, that, and all falling down, so many targets hit. But when they showed Kiev, it was bright and shiny.
Right. Like they show now, southern Gaza, or beautiful roads and
some buildings and all intact.
Buildings, glass buildings and high-end cars drove on those streets. I mean, I don't know what's
a good development now is at least that the humanitarian aid has started going in, and there has been some relaxation by the Americans also when they've agreed. And today I heard that Israelis are also agreeing to humanitarian pauses again. But then, as your primary question, what does one see at the end of the tunnel? Both the good scenario and the bad scenario, both are, I don't think there's of any consequence, because if Israelis defeat Hamas, which is a possibility which we can only think of. I don't think that happened. But even if they defeat, it's like the phoenix, it will rise. The Palestinian cause will rise up again. What do we do? Will they give the Gaza Strip an autonomy? If autonomous state is there, if they get to the two-state theory, which is the ultimate goal, then how do you go about it?
They might be thinking of annexing Gaza. We don't know.
If you annex Gaza, but first of all, it's against international law, number one. Number two, the country under occupation will never be at peace.
That's given.
Yeah. The Palestinians, those 10 years from today, you'll see those things rising up again. So there is no end to it. I mean, the only end to it is the other theory of two nations. Where's
the land for that? Where's the land? Which land? Parts of Jordan, parts of Egypt?
No, it's the West Bank only. That has been demarcated. In the when was it? It was after the 67 war. The two strips which was given was the West Bank and the Gaza Strip.
That would be enough to that would be enough to contain the population. There's 2 million in Gaza alone, and many more in.
Yeah, agreed to. But then, when you go legally on that, these are two places where they have to give the Palestinians their homeland. Now, in West Bank, what the Israelis have done is they've nibbled away. When I've been through that area, I've been to Ramallah, I've crossed Ramallah to Israel through the border, land border on car. And when we were driving, my host was the Indian representative in Ramallah. He pointed out the areas where Israelis have put up their own new what you call habitations, bright shining buildings amongst all these hutments of the Palestinians. And these have slowly grown away. If you see the West Bank map over there, it's like a kidney with lots of stones in it.
Yes, those are settlements.
These are the settlements. Now, how do you sort out those settlements? That's $1 million question. Israel will have to take back all those people from there into their own country, which is not practicable as far as my opinion is concerned, but that seems to be the only option. The third option, which the Israelis have tried to leak out from somewhere, is to resettle Gaza in the Sinai Desert, in the Egyptian territory. The Egyptians are upset on that. So this is the political game which is going on, and diplomacy has to work. Somebody has to come in between, put the two sides together, and make them talk. First, let them start talking at least. Once they start,
Israel will ever talk with Hamas. That too, I don't think that will ever happen. That's finished, I think. Maybe the PLA, Palestinian Authority, maybe, but Hamas, no.
No, but Abbasi has no strength at all. He is the sitting goon. There's nothing left in him. And Gaza, as you say, if there's a winning scenario, the sort of Israelis come to a point where they feel that they have really shut down the Hamas strength, their armaments and all that, then they can sit down as far as the Gaza Strip is concerned. Abbasi would agree to many things, I don't know, apart from the settlements, how they'll have to sort it out. That Israelis have to think about. But West Bank doesn't seem to be a major issue from the Palestinian side.
Yeah. But there are many, I think, Israeli analysts, there are many who suggest that, okay, these Palestinians can all go into Jordan and make that is Palestine. Jordan is Palestine.
Jordan, no, I heard of more of the going into the Egyptian side.
Yes, I mean,
point is the promised land as per international convention and the Oslo Accord promised these lands. And they said that these two states will form as per the 1967 post-slave war borders agreed at that time. So one has to start with that premise. Now that premise, if you disagree, then we have to have the Palestinians go to Jordan, the Palestinian goes to Egypt, I don't know. In the meantime, there are scenarios where you don't know these. It might develop into a regional conflagration because Hezbollah is not keeping quiet.
Any country has to be contiguous. I mean, there's two ends of the country. And one West Bank is on the other side, Gaza is on the other side. There's no link between them. It's like that Pakistan, East Pakistan, West Pakistan.
Yeah. That is a different story. I don't know. The point is then East Pakistan and West Pakistan was a different story in the sense that ethnically Bengali and Punjabi, that difference was there. Here these two are same people, and maybe there can be two Palestinian states. So there will be a three-state theory, two Palestinian states and one Israeli state in between. And there can be various scenarios. One has to discuss that and see how it could be.
Now, how does this affect India? Because now that Middle East economic corridor seems to be now in a bit of a shambles, because the railway line was through UAE, Jordan, Israel, and then on to
all the Middle East agreements are on hold. Stop. All the agreements and the rapprochement is gone to a standstill. The I2U2 and the corridor and the Abraham Accords and the rapprochement between the so-called agreements between China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and all that access is all gone for the time being. I don't see any future or any discussion on them even in the coming couple of years till this thing settle down. And first the war has to finish, then what has to be done after the war, that has to be done. Then the regional parties have to get together, and then the revival of the earlier thing. And with this thing happening with the Palestinian things, I don't think the Arab world will be very keen to show their eagerness to revive their relationship with Israel so soon. That's what my
the problem is now how to contain this conflict in that region without it becoming a conflagration all across the Middle East.
Yeah, that's why I think Blinken is running around that area.
Yeah,
and that's why I think at least Israelis have also agreed for humanitarian pauses, because earlier Israeli stand was first the hostages, then the pause.
Yeah, right.
Now they've agreed for the pauses. But the situation was that I'm sure Blinken would have told them that the Arab world is getting too restive.
Yeah.
And it's better to sort of control them before they get out. The whole thing gets out of control.
Get out in the street.
Hezbollah gets out of control. Houthis are too far, so I don't think Houthis will be a great factor in it. But Hezbollah can be a factor. Iran itself can be a factor. And the Arab world itself, in the sense that some people, there are some areas, I mean, they are not united in that, but there is some sort of a concern for their Muslim friends across the border.
Now, coming to Canada, I mean, Canada-India relationship is still in a deep freeze, and I think a couple of days ago, the Indian High Commissioner said he was challenging the Canadian government to present evidence about that ninja.
Yeah, that is the whole thing. It was started by the Canadians. I think it has to end by Canadians. And that's why Trudeau is in a tight spot, because in the sense that intelligence and evidence. He might have intelligence, but he does not have evidence. Now, intelligence is a very bitchy thing. One intelligence you get, you can make 5 assessments out of that. And out of those assessments, your political leadership can take 2 or 3, 5 different decisions. So these assessments are, and that's what diplomats are there to do. There would be some intelligence. I'm sure there would be some intelligence, but that intelligence, the dots have to be connected, because that intelligence would be in a different perspective altogether. Once you are able to not connect the perspective, or the narrative is not there, then there's nothing. And then there's no way to go back, because you can't show the intelligence, because the sources are again whom are you tapping and whom you are listening. It's a difficult part to over there. But then I'm sure the back channel discussions are going on.
And Jaishankar also said the same thing. There are talks going on, and we want to damp it.
Yeah. And things will slowly again. Memory is very short in all these things. After some time, but I have not seen. I'm not so sure whether those posters are still gone down or not.
I don't think so. I don't know, because 3-4 days ago, that same Sikhs for Justice man has now threatened that to blow up planes and to close down international.
Those statements are coming from USA now. He's not speaking. He is not speaking from Canada. So now the Americans have to take care of that, because he says that he was planning something. No, San Francisco, they are having this referendum on the 19th of November.
There was a Nagar Kirtan, and there was some violence there between the two. So that's happening again there.
So I'm sure things will improve slowly and gradually. People will have to forget, and Trudeau will have to face the brunt of this sort of discomfort, which he himself started. Nobody else is to blame on that.
Yeah, if he can be a bit diplomatic, I think this standoff can end quite soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. Things. It has to be. The diplomacy should be working. As you see, things have already improved. The visas have opened. Tourist visas have not been on, but the bulk of things is already on. Now trade talks slowly, ministerial visits. It will slowly start trickling in. With both sides talking and sort of showing some what we call confidence building measures. But that's why I asked you the question whether those posters have come down or not, or then what is happening, what is the discourse in the coming future about the
I think ignore these posters. I think let them put up posters, just laugh it off. I think that is better, isn't it? Just forget it. Let them put it. Let them put posters.
No, the posters I'm talking specifically where they are putting the faces of the High Commissioner and the Consul General as on target. That is the disturbing part. The rest posters, they can float whatever they want. But this comes, I would feel, come under hate speech, and it would come as anti-intact activity on which the Canadian government should react on.
Now, coming to India, India, since the election fever has gotten, there are 4 states going for election.
No, election fever had come 6 months ago. Elections have started in 4 states. So in the sense that 2 states have started and 2 states in another 10-15 days.
That's throughout the year. Every month, every year, there's some election, something happening.
I don't think so. These elections will come, and then the results will be out in December, January, and then the Lok Sabha
general elections.
Then that will be the main. This they are calling the semi-finals. Although I don't agree it is the semi-finals, because state elections are different manifesto and different
different, and the constituencies are also different, because a Lok Sabha constituency comprises many assemblies.
So the issues are different. It's more local, whereas the Lok Sabha elections are more national, and there BJP finds in more comfortable position because of Modi's presence. Modi's presence is there, but it's not that much. The chief minister has to and the development that they have done will work on that. So I think, Congress is, as per the news coming in, Congress might retain a couple of their states, and then BJP will gain a couple of states, and their third states too. Mizoram will go to the Mizo people, whatever front is over there. Telangana will go to the Telangana. The main fight is between in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan looks as if Congress might lose there, according to the new polls. We don't know.
One of them, yes. One of them, yes.
We don't know. Madhya Pradesh is a closer fight.
Madhya Pradesh is a close fight because of the infighting between the two. Rajasthan, Congress might, BJP might sort of happen next.
Chhattisgarh, I think the Congress is still strong there.
Chhattisgarh, Congress is still strong, but BJP might gain some seats over there.
Yeah.
Chhattisgarh, the main thing is this Mahadev scam which has come in just now. That has spoiled the whole situation for the present regime.
That is a sudden thing for them.
Yeah, sudden things. As a matter of fact, they say that BJP knew about all these things.
They just waited
it, and they waited for the election time to come in, and then they went for it. Because you remember, all these film stars were called and interrogated by ED for this scam only, for the Mahadev.
And then, of course, there's a comedy going on of the Mahua Moitra affair.
Oh, that comedy, the strange one for a dog apparently, for Henry.
Started off with the dog, yes.
Name is also Henry, the typical British name.
Yeah.
Henry is a matter of dispute, and it started because they want the custodianship of Henry.
Henry, yeah.
But I think Mahua Moitra could be caught on the wrong foot over here.
I have a feeling she might be expelled.
Yeah, I think she might be, because the ethics committee might find some flaws over there. Although she's a very boisterous person, yes, she will not give it easily. But today, that Harnandani, whatever, he has put in another complaint that he's settling his staff.
Yeah.
So let that comedy go on. It will go on. And Mamta will get us, we'll lose one person. Mamta has been a good parliamentarian, but then if she has been asking 49 questions for a particular ex-boyfriend, then that is a different story.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Praveen. I think we will continue this next week and make this a more regular feature.
Yeah, we should make it a regular feature again once more. Thank you.
Anyway, thanks a lot. And
happy Diwali before we meet again, I think.
Happy Diwali to you too. So we'll just wait. That's 12th, isn't it? Diwali?
Diwali is 12th, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, happy Diwali. Thank you.